What's going on, guys? I'm around here. Welcome back to another theory video. Today we're going to be doing Five Nights at Freddy's, and I know I usually do Deltarune on this channel, but I decided I kind of want to branch out because, frankly, there isn't that much to go off of with Deltarune right now. I feel like we're kind of in a stalemate for theories. Like, sure, there are some ideas, or we can make stuff up, but I feel like that first newsletter we get where Toby actually shows us stuff is when people are really going to be able to start getting into like the meat and potatoes of what the chapter is going to be. But anyway. Yeah, so we're doing a Five Nights at Freddy's theory, and I feel like this one's going to be more of a shorter type thing in terms of quote-unquote FNAF theories go. I'm not like the biggest lore keeper or like know everything. I know a lot. I've been into FNAF since I was like literally like probably single digits of age. It's like actually crazy how long it's been going, and I love FNAF. But yeah, I don't know everything about the books, so maybe something in here can be disproven from the books. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I just thought I'd throw this idea out there because I thought it was pretty interesting, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone like come up with this idea. I don't know if I 100% believe it, but I think it's just something interesting to think about that like maybe somehow could be the case. I don't know. I feel like there's a tiny bit of stuff pointing towards it. So anyways, let's get right into it. So yeah, basically, if you know FNAF 2, we see the Give Gifts, Give Life minigame where the puppet gives life to the dead kids, which is, we're pretty sure, like 99% sure this is the MCI kids, the original 5 kids that are Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy at FNAF 1, right? So, one, I don't think there's an answer to this, but the puppet just has this power for some reason to like give life to them, and is like the reason they possess the animatronics. Again, I don't think there's ever been a reason why the puppet has that power, but basically what I'm about to say is kind of saying why that is important, because if you know schedule theory, which is by T-Dreads, which is basically a theory that like there's a schedule that Scott dropped on his website before Sister Location came out, which was like this schedule, and it basically is like William probably got other kids for Remnant and stuff like that. So basically, if there's like a bunch of other kids that went missing on top of the MCI and maybe even the DCI, if that's still important to the lore, which we don't really know, it's like, where are all these unaccounted kids? Like, why aren't they important? Why are the MCI so important? DCI seems to not matter. Why is the MCI so important and the names are so prominent? What I'm thinking is maybe the reason the puppet is so important because, in terms of the puppet and the MCI kids, we never see like the need for a puppet in any other possessing of like an animatronic. Like for Springtrap, he kind of just dies in the suit, becomes Springtrap. Baby gets scooped, becomes Baby. They don't need like a puppet to like possess the thing. But for some reason with the MCI, it's like, oh, the puppet is very important to giving them life, right? And possessing the animatronic. So my idea is basically that when the puppet did this, it was like a stronger bond than just possessing that specific animatronic. Maybe the kids are possessing every like variant of that animatronic. So basically, Freddy is every single Freddy. Freddy is Toy Freddy, Withered Freddy, Nightmare Freddy, Shadow Freddy, Glamrock Freddy, all the way up to Security Reach, right? So Gabriel is every single Freddy. Sure, yeah, it's unexplained and like this kind of is just like making stuff up, but I think it's interesting because like there's so much emphasis placed on the puppet give gifts, give life, like I said. So like that would give more credence to like why these kids in specific are important compared to like the ones with schedule theory that are just like forgotten and not even like mentioned. It's just weird that William would build those things in Sister Location and they don't get kids. So I feel like they had to get kids, right? For Remnant and all that. So it just puts more emphasis on why these 5 are important. And the reason like the Henry Fire didn't work and say Gabriel is still possessing Glamrock Freddy is because Henry's fire can't break this bond. Maybe Charlie, when she was like with her dad and like died in the fire, that was good enough to like sever her bond to the puppet because it was like maybe a family thing. Maybe each kid needs a specific family or something related to break the bond, but fire isn't good enough like for other cases. So anyway, this would also explain the difference between Withered Freddy and Normal Freddy in terms of like, oh, well, is the kid in Normal Freddy or in Withered Freddy? And like, it doesn't matter, Gabriel's every Freddy. And the same thing with Toy Freddy is like, oh, we didn't know if Toy Freddy was best from the DCI or if Toy Freddy wasn't possessed at all, or if he was just like looking for a night guard. So basically Gabriel's also Toy Freddy, and that could explain the white eyes, especially in this picture right here, because people, see the white eyes in the animatronics, like the toys, and think, why are they possessed? But then, like, who would be possessing them, right? So I think that in the speech at the end of Security Breach, Glamrock Freddy could be talking about when he says, like, I've changed and my friends are here and he's not me, could be talking about either maybe finding his grave somehow, like maybe the kids were buried there in like the old locations, because if like Fazburger, all of the locations are built on top of each other, so maybe going down into the old pizzeria is like finding an old version of Freddy, because I don't know, the body probably decomposed at this point, but it's like, well, that's like 60 years ago in the timeline. But maybe just like finding parts for the original Freddy, or something like that is what I think it could be talking about. Because to me it's interesting where he's like, my friends are here, which like could be talking about the other original animatronics, or like their spirits are still down there, or whatever it's talking about. And he's saying like, I'm not me, because he's like finally realizing that I'm Gabriel, but I'm still in Freddy this entire time. That's kind of my thought process. I think this also could explain Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie, because of course like Scott kind of probably just made these just to look cool or scary or whatever back then, but I think it could be an interesting dichotomy of like them fighting like for control, like because one of them is just a toy and one of them is withered, so it's like interesting. Maybe the souls of the kids are fighting for control more because there's 2 Bonnies, 2 Freddys, 2 Chicas in this location, so it's like this is kind of an effect of that, of the fact they are in like 2 at once, so they're like showing these shadow things. But I also think that Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie could be kind of explain like Golden Freddy, because this is like Golden Freddy. I don't really know why it's Toy Bonnie, but it could. Shadow Bonnie's probably more. These are probably like Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, more like kind of separating them from the main cast. So even though, like I was saying before, Charlie didn't have her own puppet, it could kind of explain the different designs of the security puppet and the puppet from FNAF 2, because we know that like the mini game where Charlie dies is a security puppet, but then she possesses the normal puppet, right? So something similar could be going on there, like the puppet has special powers, so like maybe she died as a security puppet but somehow is in every puppet, even maybe Nightmare Own. But I think Nightmare Own's like technically not canon to its game. But maybe the marionette has to always be kind of the caretaker of everything, because if you know what's going on right now in Security Breach and Ruin and Mimic, Nightmare Own is Fiona and taking kind of over control of the whole Pizzaplex with like the wires everywhere. So maybe like there's always a marionette kind of overarching the story, like what's going on at Freddy's and the animatronics. So now that Charlie has moved on, it's kind of moved to Fiona, especially with like the wires everywhere. Basically all that to say, like Gabriel could be all of the Freddy's technically. Again, I don't know what happens in the books. Maybe there's like, oh, this is the most obvious evidence disproving this or something, I don't know. But I think it's an interesting idea, because if like Gabriel was all of the Freddy's and he has a special bond, and all of the main cast has like a special bond, it like, again, it explains why the puppet is so important to the story, even though like, again, William Springtrap, he just bonded to that. I mean, and then you can't even say kids, because again, Elizabeth or Charlie, they didn't need a puppet. So why is like give gifts, give life so important? And why is the marionette kind of the caretaker of the animatronics so important? But with other people, again, like Schedule Theory, like all those other kids, or the DCI, why aren't they important but the main are? So that's kind of what I aim to explain in this video. Again, books might say something, there's probably some evidence that disproves this, but I don't know, I thought it was an interesting and fun idea that, maybe Scott could go in this direction. I mean, I feel from what I know, there isn't anything heavily going against it. Only problem I have kind of is like Golden Freddy and Freddy. They count as separate. I guess they count as separate, even though like they're both technically Freddy. So if you're going based off of like, oh, Gabriel is every quote unquote Freddy or Bear, then like it kind of get like wishy-washy with that. But so if you guys are here for more Deltarune videos, I'm still gonna be making them, but like I said, I might wait for newsletter, or if I come up with an idea before the next newsletter comes out, I'll definitely make a video. It's more just like I don't have ideas right now. It's hard to come up with ideas. I feel like most people have came up with everything for Deltarune. Yeah, let me know if you guys want more FNAF stuff. There isn't really any other ideas I have for FNAF either. I kind of just like thought of this one day and I thought it was interesting to talk about. I'm excited for the FNAF 2 movie. I'm really excited for the FNAF 2 movie. Also, on a little extra note, I guess here, Valve just announced like their new headset and like console and stuff, and all that's cool. But I really do think they're gonna maybe announce Half-Life 3 for real, and like let me know if you guys want to play through with that. I'm probably gonna stream it, but if you like Half-Life, say something in the comments because I love Half-Life. Well, I'm more like Portal, but I like Half-Life because it's connected. But Half-Life is still fun and good. I love Half-Life too. I never played the first one though. But yeah, I really think they might actually be announcing it. So if you don't know, you should look up videos. There's like so much like stuff pointing towards it. Again, this could be copium. It probably is. It always is. But apparently, it's like the closest it's ever been to actually being done. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you should probably look that up because it's really cool. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below. Oh yeah, also I have a Fortnite code, so use it. It's just Animal39er. I'll put it in the description. It's just Animal39er. That's so funny. I have a Fortnite code, so if you guys play Fortnite, use my code. It's funny. Also check out my SoundCloud if you want to hear some songs, because I like making songs. And if you need something to hold you over, if you're like, oh, Animal39er, I need to make a video so bad, or you need any content from me, then go to SoundCloud, because sometimes I post songs there. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and I'll see you guys later.